Welcome back to Tribal Council. What an interesting round it's been. Last immunity challenge was touchy subjects. We had a maze reward, which Amanda won. And at immunity, Courtney walked away after the touchy subject challenge with immunity. Guaranteed spot in the final 7 for you, Courtney. Congratulations. As always, we're going to start off Tribal Council with a quick question and answer ceremony. Let's start with the immune queen herself, Miss Courtney. How does it feel at this point in the game to just not have to worry? Like, you may worry the vote might not go the way you want to, but you don't have to worry about being the victim. How does it feel tonight?
I'm just excited to win an immunity. Like I said at the challenge, I've never won an immunity before. So it's just like a really exciting, like, bucket list thing for being in org that I've never gotten to experience this before. So it's really fun. I'm very, very grateful that, because obviously this was a challenge in which it wasn't exactly me doing anything as much as it was the other castaways not targeting me to the point in which I managed to stay at the end. So I'm more grateful than maybe I would be if I like did something cool, because I feel like, you know, that everyone here kind of had a part in me getting this like thing that I've always wanted of getting an individual immunity. So thank you to everyone who didn't target me a ton.
I'm glad you got your first win here in iSurv1vor. Now, was there any strategy, or what was the intention of doing the Sean Kniff alphabetical order strategy in this challenge?
I mean, for me, I didn't have anybody in mind that I specifically didn't want to win or anything like that. I didn't want it to seem like I was going off of any sort of pecking order. I genuinely like everyone here, so I just wanted to do something that was just fair, so it didn't turn into any sort of like I'm targeting this person or that person kind of situation. Yeah,
because this is the game is completely social, and this is like a social challenge, and it sounds like a smart strategy to not, you know, reinforce any bad blood if you don't have to. What are you basing your vote on tonight? After the whirlwind of the past 20 minutes, is it still clear? Do you have an idea, or do you know exactly what you're doing?
I am just going along with I'm going along with the pack, I guess.
Kira, unlike Courtney in the past challenge, it seems from my vantage point that you possibly kept on going after certain people. Was there strategy behind that? Were just people you haven't spoken to, people you didn't want to see win? What was going through your mind every time you got a question right and I asked you to chop somebody?
I mean, yeah, I ended up voting a lot for Amanda and Dave, but I felt that I think that was just the easiest thing to do, just to pick 2 names and stick with it for this challenge instead of going around in rotation.
Was it a random picking of these 2 names, or is there reason behind why they were the 2?
I just felt like I've gotten to know more of like the original Breslin people, and I don't really know what they would have done if they won immunity.
Oliver, a lot has come to light in this past challenge. Let me open that up and see. From off the top of my head, it was
most final twos.
Who
thinks they're in control? Who's in the best spot? Did you get
guaranteed final spot, or did I say that one? I wasn't sure.
No, I can't fucking remember. I was the.
I don't think I did that one. But okay, so the general idea of all of them is, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel like worried, obviously, because it's like when people have spoken to me, obviously, you know, that hasn't come up, but I do feel like part of it came out because of obviously last tribal and Ojani purposely just going for me, because I hadn't spoke to him and he hadn't spoke to me, which is fair enough. So for him, logically, the only person he could throw under the bus was me. So I think that just kind of made people go, okay, well, we can use that as a scapegoat.
Do you really believe that? Do you really believe Johnny had that much impact in the immunity the following round?
Yes, in a sense of if people don't want to show their true feelings, they will probably throw a name that they've already heard like mine. But I mean, it's one of those. No, I was just gonna say it's one of those things where when you put that thing on someone, it just denounces their power. In my opinion, so it's like
how are you going to mitigate this going forward? If you survive tonight, how are you going to manage this? In a sense, the target that Johnny put on your back.
Yeah, thanks, Beach. I mean, I'm just gonna have open conversations with everyone and just be like, "How do you feel about me?" Like at this point, just be open and just be like, look, I've heard this, is this true? Heard this, was that right? And then just go from there. But
how do you plan on being honest with everybody how do you plan on being open and honest with people in the game going forward when this is a game of outwit, outplay, outlast?
Well, okay, probably honest was the wrong word. But
you said open, and then I interpreted it as honest.
Yeah, just open, just be like, okay, at this point, because obviously everyone's kind of thrown me on this pedestal, so it's kind of like, okay, I'll just be open then and be like, well, this person sort of said this person said this, what's your rebuttal? Because clearly I'm on the pedestal for someone else at this point. I'm just everyone's buffer pedestal.
All right. Thank you, Oliver. Dave.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, bud. How are you feeling about your position tonight? We just did touchy subjects, just had whirlwind half-hour strategy. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling nervous. I mean, I guess it's tough because it's like the trend line of the game so far has been a little bit of like, it was Duke and then it was Ojani, and then so I certainly feel a little bit on the back foot. So and I think in the game there were a couple questions that the answers to made me go like, felt my face get hot for a second. You're like, oh, I'm the majority of that answer, but I think I'm feeling I am trusting what I'm feeling. Okay, I'm trusting what I've heard and trusting like that I have an accurate picture of what's going on tonight, I guess.
What was your initial reaction when you were the first one out of coconuts?
Oh, I mean, I guess it happens, I mean, I think it was mainly like, I think it was just like there was a lot, that game was very funny because everyone played it in a very like, I don't even know if it's fair. Everyone played it in a real like kind of like balanced political way with like, this person has more, let's get rid of this. It was like nice. It was like we were all just kind of like hanging out. There was no like, you see that on the TV show and you see like clearly the person that people want to vote out is like out immediately, and it wasn't that clear. I don't feel like because I was the first one out, because I didn't feel this aggressive amount of attacks on me other than from like, maybe like one or two people hit me more times than they maybe had to. But other than that, it felt very balanced. So I don't necessarily feel like there's some indication of that, meaning that I'm going tonight or something. After the strategy session, what have you come to base your vote upon tonight, or is it still up in the air? I'm basing my vote upon it's interesting. The game is now at this point where the tribal lines are going to get blurrier and blurrier and blurrier. There's 3 Ledoux now and 5 Praslin. I'm basing my vote on having gotten to know new people in this game and trusting new people in this game. Thank you, Dave. Best of luck. Amanda, what if the game isn't as Dave sort of just expressed? What happens if Ledig's up Schitt's Creek without a paddle? With that being said, who from the Praslin side, in your opinion, is going to regret that the most?
obviously start by saying I really hope that's not the case, because Dave and I have worked really hard to try and stop that being the case. However, obviously with people thinking that Oliver's at the top, then obviously the people that might think that they're closer down to the bottom. I know even Kira answered herself in a few of the kind of lesser questions of the majority, so she might feel like she's kind of at the bottom of the Praslin lot, so then it would be more sense kind of for them to work with us than just voting the dig out and then knowing they're only going to get 5th, which is kind of back to why Grace felt the need to vote the way she did back at the merge anyway.
So are we sort of describing that, hey, on Praslin, there is a Grace somewhere on there. Do they know that? Do you feel like that the Grace on Praslin knows that they're the Grace? Is that something you've tried to exploit if you see it?
From some of the answers this evening, I think they've got a pretty good idea. And no, I'm not naming names, so don't bother asking.
Yeah. Best of luck in the vote tonight, Amanda. Good job on that reward win.
Thank you.
Grace.
Hello.
Hey. So we're deep into the merge now. A couple tribal councils ago, you were the hot commodity. I think last tribal council, you were like, I'm just trying to lay back because last tribal council was just so much pressure. What's the story this time? Is this a vote where you're trying to make sure what you want happens?
All I'm saying is that I was driving. I have never experienced a hot mess of a game in my car like I have the last 20 minutes of my life.
What was it like? Did you expect all that to happen? Like as soon as the call hang up, did you expect what ensued to ensue?
Yeah, well, one, I kind of had it coming too, because I was like, hey, I'm driving, I can't do anything. And plus, like, and I've been saying this, like, all season, and I always say this, texting is nasty. I don't like it. I'm better with calls anyway, so I can get myself out there. But, yeah, literally, I'm not shocked it was call after call. We only had 20 minutes to figure out who needs to leave, like, literally, that's why I said, how about you change that 20 minutes to 24 hours? That's why I said that. It's like, oh, I gotta have longer time to think.
Do you feel like you need more time for this to marinate and strategize with people?
Yes, it takes me a while to, when I make a decision or something, it usually takes me a while because I'm one of those people who has to observe everything and take it into account and then like think on it. Like, I gotta think on it. Like, that 20 minutes, no.
I have a question for you, Grace. Do you think if there was a longer amount of time that just gives more opportunity for people to try, like the challenge said, to manipulate you?
I mean, I can see that. Like, I mean, yeah, that could give, because everybody thinks I'm extremely manipulated. Like, I can see that. I'm very gullible, but I try to stay, like I said, I try to stay as observant and take what I see as I can. So,
do you usually go
give more time?
Do you usually go with your gut?
Yeah, usually what I feel, like what I'm feeling in my mind, what I'm feeling in my gut. 'Cause I do have, like, it's crazy. Usually I have a very strong gut feeling when it comes to things like this, like, or just anything in general. Like earlier, my gut was feeling good about that restaurant. I got that restaurant earlier. I got hired. Literally. That's my gut was feeling like was so good about it. And then literally my gut's been telling me do this, do that, like throughout this whole game. So regardless if people are doing manipulating around you and to you, at the end of the day, you're still going to go with your gut, whether that gut was manipulated or not. Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with every single bullet point note that's in my brain of what I've seen, basically. Also, I'm over here making Sandy laugh. How is I not the funniest in the challenge? all I gotta say.
Thank you, Grace. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Michael,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm nervous because chaos unfolded and it's chaos.
Is it still chaos? Like in PMs as I'm talking and people are answering, is it still sort of chaotic?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, people are PMing me. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Well, the challenge was sort of worked out in your favor, like in terms of, you know, I feel like going into touchy subjects, people are always a little nervous about getting all of the shit ones, right? Or like, who's the biggest threat, or who's the most unlikable, or who, but you got kind of good ones. You got like the one that people would be friends with outside the game. You got the most attractive. You got the funniest. You feel good about at least getting some of those good ones? Could have been worse, right?
No, it could have been worse, definitely, but like, I don't know, it kind of like, it just like makes me feel like, oh, am I just seen as a clown or something? Like,
How do you,
I don't know if I'm taken seriously.
how were you gonna find the fine line of being funny and coming off as a jokester to actually being or coming across as, yeah, I'm funny, but I'm also here to play the game?
I genuinely don't know how to do that, because I don't know, I just always resort to being funny. Like, I think that probably stems to like a childhood thing, you know, like, and so I just always try to be funny in everything, whether maybe it's a defense mechanism, but I don't know how I would do that. Like, it just trying to make jokes and make people laugh is what I always try to do.
Well, I mean, you're not out of the game, so something is working with that. Now, how vulnerable are you feeling tonight? Or do you feel like, oh gosh, I think I've done enough to not be me tonight?
I don't feel safe at all. It definitely could be a blindside, just because people were being so nice to me, which I'm so thankful for. Thank you guys for voting for me for the nice stuff. I appreciate that. But no, that's what scares me. I'm like, oh, like everyone thinks I'm like so nice. Like, well, thanks. It's just so true. But it just like scares me because people, maybe they're like, oh, like he's nice. Like we have to get him out. Like people like him. I'm like, do I feel safe? Is that your question? No.
Yeah.
Because it could be a blind side, you know? I could be left out of something. Was that your question?
No, yeah, you did. Sorry, I was just
Okay.
responding to somebody. I apologize. No, you answered my question perfectly. Thank you so much. Have you decided why you're going to vote the way you're going to vote tonight? Have you decided yet, or is it still up in the air?
I've decided how I'm going to vote.
Thanks, Michael. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Ali,
Hey,
what's up, bud? How are you?
I got Popeyes. Woohoo!
Oh, dinner time. Are you excited?
So excited. I was in the car for like an hour and now I'm staying for another hour for tribal. Oh my god, I've not been home the whole day. I'm so happy.
You're so committed to this game. I love it.
Oh my god. I'm like 5 minutes away from the house, but yeah, I'm excited. I love this game. But yeah, I'm excited.
So how was the 25 minute strategy session, the strategy session in the car?
Oh,
Did you keep up?
it was horrible. I definitely think you should give at least like an hour or two. I didn't even have a chance to talk to anybody, and it's like, what the frick, y'all? Like 20 minutes to talk to 7 other people? That gives me like 10 minutes a person. I need to say hi to everybody.
You guys can manage.
I can say bye. I had to say bye. I had to ask them how their day is going. You know, it's too much work. You know. Oh, I just can't stand this.
Where does that leave you? What are you hoping to happen in this vote? Like, you don't need to be specific, but what are you looking to get out of tonight?
I'm looking to get out somebody, which I always wanted to get out.
Okay. Have I touched base with everybody? I actually didn't keep track today. Usually I do. I feel like I touched base with everybody. Guys, for one of you, this is your last opportunity to speak. The floor is yours. You want to speak directly to somebody. If you want to make a general statement, or if you think you're the target and you need to try to change some minds, this is your last opportunity. Oliver, you are first.
Please don't vote me. I feel like I've spoken to everyone, and it's like I feel like I've bonded with the people, and the people that I've said where I'm voting that way. Obviously, apparently I am threatening to some people, but I would love the chance to stay in the game and chat so we can discuss that, because I don't think I'm the only threatening one. But yeah.
So I have actually a question now based off of that. If you feel like you're threatening, how smart is it to possibly team up with other threatening people? Does that cross your mind?
Yeah, but then again, the question is, who I perceive as threatening could not be the case for other people.
Thank you, Oliver. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Grace, floor is yours.
I-H-A-T-E hate 20 minutes, 25 minutes to strategize for survival. That's my general statement. Hate that. I hate it here.
She wants to go back.
I said 24 hours. That's what I said. Not 25 minutes. Just subtract the one and turn that minutes into an hour. That's what I mean.
Anybody else have anything they would like to say? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I just want to say thank you for voting me for the nice things. I don't know if I said that, but thank you.
All right, guys, it is time to vote. What you're going to do is head to your Discord confessional chats. You're going to type the name of the person you are sending to the jury. I'm going to go and tally them. I will be back. Feel free to talk. I have the votes. Votes have been locked and tallied. Once I read them, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the Zoom and tribal council immediately. That person will become the second member of our jury. I read the votes. First vote. Kira. Dave. It's one vote for Kira, one vote Dave. Dave. It's two votes Dave, one vote Kira. Kira. It's two votes Kira. Dave. That is 3 votes for Dave, 2 votes for Kira. Dave. It's 4 votes Dave, 2 votes Kira. The 8th person voted out of iSurv1vor Seychelles. Dave.
Predictable. Sorry, you can say the thing you got to say.
You know it's breaking my heart doing this, and it's only going to get more difficult. But Dave, the tribe, has spoken. But yeah, Dave, I was super excited to host you. Your enthusiasm this season, unmatched.
Yeah, of course.
Host these things for players like you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice work, everybody. Yeah. Good. I'll see some of you in the jury, and I'll see some of you at the end. Excited to see how the rest of this plays out. Talk to y'all later.
Take care, Dave. You're off to the jury with Ojani, buddy.
Oh yeah, later.
Okay. Another day, another vote. We are at the top 7. One of my favorite castaways, Kathy from Marquesas and All-Stars, said, the top 7 is like the last time in Survivor, basic Survivor, that you can make a move. That round is now. Best of luck. I'll see you guys at the next challenge. Congratulations.